Did you know that some of the foods you believe are healthy could actually be putting your kidneys at risk after the age of 60? In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 4 common foods that many seniors eat every day without realizing they can speed up kidney damage. What these 4 foods all have in common is this. Every patient who came into my clinic with declining kidney function was regularly eating at least one of them. Not because they were careless, but because no one ever told them that the rules change after 60. I'm Dr. Victor Selenus, and this channel exists to bring you the latest evidence-based health research translated into clear, practical language designed specifically for adults over 60. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss updates like this one. We publish new research-backed content every single week. I'll share exactly what those 4 foods are. But first, you need to understand why they become risky for kidneys after 60. Without that context, the list won't truly stick. And this is something that needs to stay with you. If you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, stay with me. And right now, drop a comment with your age and whether you've ever had your kidney function tested. Just your age and a simple yes or no. What you're about to hear may be directly relevant to you. Let me tell you about Ruth. Ruth was 71 when she came into my office. A retired school teacher from Ohio, sharp, disciplined, and proactive about her health. She walked every morning, took her medications regularly, and never smoked. By all accounts, she was doing everything right. But during a routine checkup, her blood work showed a slightly elevated creatinine level. Her doctor followed up with an eGFR test, the standard measure of kidney function. A healthy number is above 60. Ruth's result came back at 52. Her doctor advised her to watch her diet and return in 6 months. So Ruth did what any careful person would do. She researched and made changes. She switched to whole wheat bread and bran cereal. She added bananas and avocados for potassium. She read that potassium helps blood pressure. She began having canned tomato soup for lunch and started drinking sports drinks during her daily walks for electrolytes. Everything she chose was based on good intentions and widely accepted health advice. But 6 months later, her eGFR had dropped from 52 to 38. In just half a year, she had progressed from stage 3A to stage 3B chronic kidney disease. That's when she was referred to me. When Ruth handed me her food diary, I went through it carefully. And here's what stood out. Everything looked responsible, thoughtful, exactly what you'd expect from someone trying to take care of their health. "Ruth," I told her, "this all looks healthy, and that's exactly the problem." She looked confused. "But I researched these foods." "You did," I said. "And for someone with fully functioning kidneys, most of these choices are fine. But your kidneys are already working at a reduced capacity, and when that happens, the rules change completely. Foods that support heart health in a healthy person can become a burden for kidneys that are already struggling." We made targeted adjustments to her diet. Over the next year, her eGFR stabilized at 41. It didn't reverse. Kidney damage at this stage rarely does, but it stopped getting worse. Ruth avoided dialysis, and today, she's still living independently and cooking her own meals. So what was really happening inside her kidneys? Here's what most people don't realize until it becomes personal. Starting around age 40, kidney function naturally declines by about 1% each year. By the time someone reaches their 70s, they may have already lost 25 to 30% of their kidney function without any noticeable symptoms. No pain, no swelling. Nothing obvious. Just a number on a lab report slowly drifting in the wrong direction. And that silent decline changes how your body handles food. The first issue is phosphorus. Your kidneys are responsible for removing excess phosphorus from your blood. As kidney function declines, this process becomes less efficient. Phosphorus begins to accumulate, a condition known as hyperphosphatemia, which has been directly linked to faster kidney damage and even blood vessel complications. What makes this more concerning is that the most harmful type isn't the phosphorus naturally found in whole foods. It's the inorganic phosphorus added to processed foods as preservatives. Your body absorbs nearly 90 to 100% of this added phosphorus, compared to only 40 to 60% from natural sources. That's a significant difference, and it's not clearly listed on nutrition labels. The second issue is potassium balance. Healthy kidneys keep potassium levels in your blood within a safe range. But when kidney function declines, excess potassium isn't cleared efficiently. It can build up to dangerous levels, sometimes leading to serious heart rhythm problems. And this is exactly where many healthy food choices start to become risky. The American Heart Association has clearly documented this connection, and here's the uncomfortable irony. Many of the foods most heavily promoted for heart health in older adults, like bananas, avocados, and oranges, are also some of the highest in potassium. Next comes protein load. When you eat a high-protein meal, your kidneys have to work harder, significantly increasing their filtration rate to process the metabolic waste. In healthy kidneys, this extra workload is manageable. But when kidney function is already reduced, this constant strain, known as glomerular hyperfiltration, can actually speed up the breakdown of the kidney's filtering units. Research published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology has shown a clear link. Higher protein intake can accelerate kidney decline in people with already compromised function. And this becomes especially important for older adults. Many seniors are encouraged to increase protein to maintain muscle, but that advice needs to change once your eGFR drops below 60. Then there's sodium. As kidney function declines, your body loses its ability to remove excess sodium efficiently. Sodium starts to build up, leading to fluid retention, rising blood pressure, and further kidney damage. It becomes a vicious cycle, each problem feeding into the next. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has consistently identified high sodium intake as one of the major dietary drivers of worsening kidney disease. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been told to watch your diet because of your kidney function? And more importantly, were you actually given clear, specific instructions on what to avoid? Go ahead and comment, "Yes, specific guidance," or "Told to watch it but no details." Because in my 20 years of practice, the gap between those two answers, that's exactly where most of the damage happens. Now let me introduce you to 4 patients: Frank, Helen, Walter, and Linda. Each one highlights a different way this problem shows up in real life. Frank was 68, a retired firefighter from Texas, strong, disciplined, and following his doctor's advice. He had been told, correctly, that increasing protein would help preserve muscle as he aged. So Frank committed fully. Protein shakes, chicken breast at every meal, protein bars between meals. What no one connected was that his eGFR had been sitting at 54 for over 2 years. That level of kidney function changes the rules, but no one told him. Within 14 months, his eGFR dropped to 41, a full-stage decline in kidney disease. And the hardest part? He had done everything right, based on advice that was medically accurate, just not for someone with his level of kidney function. "How was I supposed to know the rules were different?" he asked me. The truth is, he wasn't. And that's exactly why this matters. Helen was 74, a grandmother from Florida who became deeply committed to heart health after her husband's heart attack. She added avocado daily, took potassium supplements she read about online, loaded her meals with spinach. Her doctor knew she had stage 3B chronic kidney disease, it was documented. But in short, focused appointments centered on blood pressure and cholesterol, the dietary risks were never fully discussed. One morning she woke up feeling weak, dizzy, and with a racing heartbeat. In the emergency room, her potassium level was 6.4 milliequivalents per liter, dangerously high, a condition known as hyperkalemia. Her heart rhythm was already being affected. She was treated in time.
But when I reviewed her case, the cause was clear. Her kidneys simply couldn't clear the excess potassium she was consuming.
"I thought I was protecting my heart," she told me.
She had no idea she was putting her kidneys and her life at risk. Walter was 79, a Korean War veteran from Virginia recovering from cancer treatment. During chemotherapy, his care team focused on one priority: getting enough calories into him. So he relied on canned soups, sports drinks, and packaged foods, especially on the tougher days. What no one emphasized was that his eGFR was already at 48. By the time his treatment ended, his kidney function had dropped to 29, stage 4 chronic kidney disease. The hidden culprits? Phosphate additives in processed foods and heavy sodium loads in canned soups, often 800 to 1,200 milligrams per serving. That's nearly half of a kidney patient's daily sodium limit in a single bowl. Over months, that added up. Walter often says he wishes someone had connected those dots sooner.
Then there's Linda. Linda was 65, recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in Minnesota. Her care team did everything right. They referred her to a qualified nutritionist who created a detailed, evidence-based meal plan. It was high in fiber, rich in whole grains, packed with potassium-rich vegetables, and included lean protein. The issue with Linda wasn't the plan itself. It was missing one critical detail. Her eGFR was 55, and the nutritionist didn't know it. 3 staples in her diabetic meal plan, whole wheat bread, lentils, and bananas, are foods I would have advised her to significantly limit. For someone with diabetes and healthy kidneys, those choices are excellent. But for someone with reduced kidney function, they become problematic. This wasn't bad medical advice. It was a coordination gap, the reality of managing multiple conditions in a system where specialists don't always have the full picture. Now, let's get to the 4 foods you need to know about.
First, processed and deli meats. This includes deli turkey, ham, salami, hot dogs, packaged sausages, anything cured or preserved. They pose 2 major problems for aging kidneys: extremely high sodium and added inorganic phosphorus. Just a 2-ounce serving of deli turkey can contain 500 to 600 milligrams of sodium. On top of that, many of these products contain phosphate additives. Look for ingredients with phos in the name. These additives are absorbed by your body at nearly 100%. The National Kidney Foundation has specifically identified phosphate additives as one of the most overlooked dangers for people with kidney disease. Every time you eat processed meat, you're delivering a concentrated phosphorus load to kidneys that are already struggling to eliminate it. Second, high potassium fruits. This one surprises most people. To be clear, fruit is not the enemy. But if your eGFR is below 60, certain fruits can deliver more potassium than your kidneys can safely handle. The main ones to watch are bananas, oranges, kiwi, and avocado. All of them are healthy for people with normal kidney function. But in those with chronic kidney disease, they can contribute to elevated potassium levels, as highlighted in research from the Journal of Renal Nutrition. The goal isn't to eliminate fruit, it's to choose wisely. Lower potassium options like apples, blueberries, grapes, and strawberries are much safer and still highly nutritious. Third, whole wheat bread and bran-based products. This is where things feel counterintuitive. Whole grains have long been promoted as a foundation of a healthy diet, and for people with normal kidney function, that's absolutely true. But whole wheat bread and bran cereals are relatively high in phosphorus, and in a form your body absorbs more readily than most people realize. According to dietary guidance from the National Kidney Foundation, whole grain products are actually something to limit when kidney function is reduced. This is one of the most common surprises I see. Patients switch from white to whole wheat to improve their health, only to unknowingly increase their phosphorus load. In this specific situation, white bread and white rice can actually be the better choice. It may feel backwards, but this is exactly why knowing your eGFR matters. Fourth, canned soups and packaged meals. Here, the main issue is sodium, often combined with phosphate additives. A single serving of canned soup can easily contain 800 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has identified canned soups as one of the largest contributors to sodium intake. For someone with kidney disease, where the daily sodium limit is typically 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams, one bowl can use up half that allowance. The good news is, this is fixable. Homemade soups using low-sodium broth are a great option. If you're buying canned, look for labels that say under 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. Now here's exactly what I want you to do next. 7 simple, practical steps. 1. Ask for your eGFR. At your next appointment, don't just rely on creatinine. Ask specifically, "I'd like to check my eGFR." That one number changes everything. 2. If your eGFR is below 60, request a renal dietitian. Not a general nutritionist, a renal dietitian trained specifically in kidney health. They'll tailor your diet to your actual lab values. 3. Start checking labels for phosphate additives. Anything with phos in the ingredient list, like sodium phosphate or phosphoric acid, is a red flag. Limit or avoid these products. 4. Swap high potassium fruits for lower potassium ones. Bananas, apples, oranges, blueberries, avocado, a drizzle of olive oil for healthy fats. 5. Choose fresh or frozen vegetables over canned. If you do use canned vegetables, drain and rinse them. This can reduce sodium by up to 40%. 6. Review your supplements with your pharmacist. Many multivitamins contain potassium and phosphorus levels that are fine for healthy adults, but not for compromised kidneys. 7. Bring a 1-week food diary to your next visit. Not an app, just write it down. A simple record gives your doctor a clear, realistic picture and makes that short appointment far more effective. There are a few questions I get all the time. How do I bring this up without sounding like I'm questioning my doctor? You're not questioning. You're being proactive. You can simply say, "I've been reading about kidney function and how it changes with age. Could we check my eGFR with my next blood test?" That's it. Any engaged doctor will appreciate that level of involvement in your own health. What if my eGFR is only slightly below normal? Does this still matter?
Yes, it absolutely does. If you're in stage 3A, you may not need the same level of restriction as someone in stage 4, but it does mean your trajectory needs attention now.
Small adjustments made early can have a far greater impact than major changes made too late. Can diet actually reverse kidney damage? In most cases, especially beyond the earliest stage, no, not completely. But that's not the goal. The goal is to slow down or even stop further decline. And patients who make the right changes early often stabilize at levels that allow them to avoid dialysis for many more years. That's not a small win. That's the difference between maintaining independence and needing life-altering treatment. Let me take you back to something personal. My mother was 68. She felt completely fine. Every morning she ate bananas to support her blood pressure. She chose whole wheat bread because years earlier her doctor had recommended it for heart health. Lunch was often canned soup, quick, easy, and low in fat. She wasn't careless. She was doing exactly what she believed was right. But her eGFR had been quietly declining in the background. When her doctor finally checked and called me, her number was 44. I'm a kidney specialist. I understand exactly how these foods affect kidney function. And yet, my own mother was eating several of them every single day, believing she was protecting her health. We made the necessary changes. Her eGFR stabilized. Today, she's 74. She's still cooking, still going for her morning walks. But I often think about that number, 44, and what it might have become if we had discovered it even a year later. That's why I made this. I can't be in every exam room when someone is told, "Watch your diet," without being told what that actually means. But I can be here. So right now, leave a comment with one of these. Getting my eGFR checked. Making changes today. Sharing with family. And share this with someone you care about who is over 60. That simple act could make a real difference. And if this gave you something useful, something you can actually take into your next appointment, consider subscribing, because this is what I focus on in every video, giving you clear, practical information you can use. You deserve to walk into that appointment informed. I'm Dr. Victor Selenus. Take care of your kidneys. Take care of the people you love. I'll see you in the next one.